mistakes you make, man, it'll cost you 10 years quick. It may not be 10 years in prison, but it's going to be 10 years somewhere. Dude, your kids don't know who you are. They're not going to judge you. It's better that they know who you are.
Exactly. But if I wasn't my best, or if I wasn't locked in on whatever it was, spirituality, you know, my physical, my mental, then I can't take care of my family.
I believe we're all born bad. We're all born sinners.
Yeah.
We would be like animals if someone wasn't teaching us.
Yeah.
Triumph from tragedy, the way I overcome the devil mad at me. Farmer like faith, had to plant the seed. Now I work hard, we never take it for granted. We live into a standard, pass it down until it's mastered. I made it from a pallet to a palace and a castle. You can do it too, it's not too much for you to handle. This that motivation, this that fire.
What's going on, everybody? So on today's show, we have none other than Charlie Hustle, aka Charles Mintz, the man. You are in the house. Man, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
I appreciate you having me. Really excited to do this, you know, to tell some of the story and get the name out, and just I love talking, so you know, podcasts are perfect for me. So I appreciate you having me.
See,
really
most people
do.
know you by Charlie Hustle. They don't even know your last name. You know what I mean? That's why I was
Yeah.
like Charlie Hustle, also known as the real name. So we kind of hooked up a while back, and then you know, been following each other and stuff like that, and been trying to hook up on a podcast. And so I'm glad we finally got to do it, bro.
Definitely.
Because I like having like real dudes that are growing, learning, you know, developing, building businesses or brands or whatever it is. You don't even have to be building a business, but like you're working your butt off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, however that looks. Like, I respect that. Even if you have a job and you're working your butt off, I respect that.
For sure.
Now, I respect a little more. I'm biased. You know, people are really trying to get it on their own.
Of course.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? You know this.
Oh, yeah.
How hard is it, bro? Just like say it. Like, how hard is what you're doing?
It's hard. And, you know, in all honesty, more times than not, I'm like, is it worth it? Do I want to keep doing this? And that's just being real. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that's what we got to do.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I had those thoughts fairly often, because there's days where things are going great. You know what I mean? You're on the up and up, and there's days where nothing's happening at all. And you're like, fuck, man, is it even like, what am I doing? Yeah,
you mean it's not like on Instagram where you're seeing all roses and peaches and
not
cream
at all. No,
all glory?
Nobody posts their failures on Instagram. Nobody posts the losses. It's all a show, but everybody goes through it behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And I don't care what they tell you.
But I wish more people did talk about it though, because like we went through a really bad time here with my company stuff, and we lost almost $2 million. Wow. And I talked about it, bro, and I was like, it hurt. Like when going through that was hard. Like I've been through some stuff as a kid, and then now financially, and just learning and growing, right?
Of course. And
people got to hear, like, they want to hear, you got to like speak your wins, but you also got to talk about the losses, because the losses is what prevents someone else from making that same mistake.
Exactly.
At least, you know, catch your eye, like, oh shoot, I remember that person, like they did that. Like, let me watch out for this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but I'm glad you're on the show, bro, and you got, you know, you're killing it with your company. It's IAC.
IAC stands for Intelligence and Confidence.
Yeah. See, intelligence and confidence. He's got the confidence hat.
Yeah. And
I like that. Like, you know, it's like,
this is unreleased. We haven't even dropped these yet. This is a sample.
I like it though, because it's like sometimes you're one and not the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, some people are very smart, but they don't have confidence. They lack confidence, you know, and it's like, that's why some of them are afraid to take that next step.
Exactly.
Entrepreneurship or whatever it is that takes, you know, confidence. And then some people are super confident, but they're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they just keep making big mistakes, you know? So, you know, if we can work on both, and we can work on both, because all we have to do is keep learning.
That's it.
And then believe in our own abilities.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not, you know, that much into faith as much as I am, but like God gave us the ability to have confidence, knowing we have faith in the word and God. Absolutely. And all those things. That gives us confidence in our own abilities. Okay, we practice. I practice. You know what I mean? Like the basketball players, like there's, you know, 1,000 shots before the game.
Exactly. Yep.
That gives them the confidence because they sunk, you know, so many.
Exactly.
It's like, and not only that, is when you're practicing, you know what you're good at and what you're not good at. So that helps with your confidence, because then you're aware of where you lack.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
and that's where you can make improvements based off of that. off your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
For
that's
sure.
good stuff. So Charlie, where are you from, bro? What state are you from?
Originally from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
So New Mexico, you got the green chili going on.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love green chili. Do you like green chili?
I love it too. Everybody asks me, that's like the biggest question when you're from New Mexico is red or green, right? And I always tell people, it's like, you got to pick one. And I always say it depends on what you're eating. You know what I mean? For me, red enchiladas with the ground beef, the egg, and the onion on top. But you can essentially put green chili on anything.
Yeah.
If it's like the dice, if it's the sauce, that's a different story, right? So for me, it depends on what I'm eating. So,
dude, I love the enchiladas with ground beef. Like that's like hood stuff, ground beef.
yeah.
And then so like take that, and then I do like eggs.
Oh yeah, over
Yolk
medium.
eggs.
Over
Yeah,
medium.
yeah, right on top of
Yep.
the Oh my god,
Oh yeah.
dude,
Fire.
I'm hungry. So New Mexico. So when did you move to Arizona?
So this is actually my fourth time living in the state of Arizona.
Okay.
My aunt and her husband live out in Sierra Vista, and so when I was in New Mexico,
Dude, that's by the border.
yeah, I got kicked out of one high school, moved to another. Wasn't going to graduate on time, so I dropped out. No, actually before that, I was behind in credit, so I moved out here because you need less credits to graduate in New Mexico than out here. So I came out here.
You trying to beat the system?
Came out here, my uncle and I butted heads. I was a 17-year-old punk kid, thought I knew it all.
Yeah.
So they sent me back to New Mexico. And then that's when I switched high schools and then dropped out. And then I had to make that phone call to him and say, hey, can I come back? I promise I'll be on my best behavior. So he was cool enough to say yes, let me come back. Got my GED and then went back to New Mexico. So that was the first two times that I lived out here in Sierra Vista for about a year each time. And then in 2011, I came out here to go to culinary school before they shut it down out in Scottsdale. And then moved back to New Mexico because I got a job in El Paso. My hometown is like 45 minutes from El Paso, Texas.
Okay.
So went and did restaurants, traveled a little bit, opening up restaurants. And then in 2018, we went from Cruces to Albuquerque. And we were in Albuquerque for about 3 years. 4 years roughly, and then came out here by way of Albuquerque. So we've been here for 3 years now. We got here in 2022.
Oh, okay. So how old are you? About 28, 30? What are you?
I wish. I'm 4. I just turned 40.
I'm trying to do the math. My math's off. I jumped it. Maybe I jumped it.
Well, no, maybe my storytelling was moving too quick. So the first two times was in high school.
Okay.
Those are back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so you jumped to 2018. I was like, I'm trying to do the math.
And then jumped
like,
to 28. Yeah,
he doesn't look that young. You don't look that old either, but
I appreciate it.
So you were a troublemaker when you were a kid.
I walked the line.
Yeah.
Part of me knew what I was doing could get me in trouble, so I didn't always go like all in with the troublemaking. Or if my friends and I were gonna go do something we should have been doing, I was kind of one that was like, do we really want to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you know, we had the conversation before. There was some legal trouble that I did get into. Yes.
What do you mind talking about that?
Not at all.
What was it? What was it?
So I pled guilty. I say convicted because it's easier to say it that way, but I pled guilty to trafficking a controlled substance for cocaine.
So you got caught with cocaine?
I didn't get caught per se. I got set up. A friend of mine got caught, and to get his charges dropped, he set me up.
What did he do? Say it was yours?
No. So from what I know, this is the only interaction I had.
This is when you're like 17-ish?
I was 18 at the time.
Okay.
I was 18.
So you went back to New Mexico?
Yeah, I was back in New Mexico at this time. So he had called looking for me. He said he needed to get some stuff. So I'm like, cool. I make my phone calls. Transaction happens. I don't hear from him he called again the next day looking for him, but I wasn't home. But my brother was there, so my brother got it for him. And then we don't hear from him ever again after that. So I don't think anything of it. I'm like, whatever. I knew he was selling, so I didn't think anything of it. So I'm working at Sears at the time, and I call my grandpa because I'm like, hey, I forgot my lunch. Can you bring it? And he's like, I can't because I got your smaller cousin, your younger cousins are here, and I'm watching them. But the cops came looking for you and your brother. Said you sold drugs to an undercover cop.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, the only thing I'd gotten in trouble for that I remember prior was we got caught drinking, me and my homeboys, and we were 18, so it was a minor in possession of alcohol. And I'm like, but I got that resolved already. And I'm like, he's like, well, I don't know. They had a warrant, so I don't know what to tell you. So I hang up the phone. few minutes later, I'm chilling in the back office at Sears. Security comes and knock on the door and said, Charles Mintz, they're like, come with us. So take me to the back, and there's a state cop holding the warrant, and I'm reading everything, and I'm like, I remember the dates specifically, but some of the information doesn't add up. So I'm like, this can't be right. So anyways, long story short, they haul me off to jail. I spend about a month and a half in county. And then when we get bailed out is when I find out everything that had transpired. Like how all this happened was that he got caught. He set me up because he knew I was selling it. So to get his charges dropped, they gave him a deal to set somebody else up and he wouldn't get off scot-free.
So, because they never said who the undercover was that you sold to.
Yes, that was in the paperwork, but they didn't give the other guy's name. But because of the dates that were on the warrant and stuff, I was able to piece it together. And then we found out afterwards, too, that it was him anyways, because my grandparents knew a private investigator. Yeah. So he helped out when we were trying to go through all of our court stuff. And so he was able to figure out that was the situation. Yeah.
So there you go, kids. Don't trust your friends when you're selling dope.
Or don't sell dope.
Don't sell dope. Well, don't trust your friends. No, well, because what happens, especially when you're running that fine line, is like you think your homies are your homies. Yeah. And then next you know, I seen it happen a lot too when I was younger, man. Dudes would get busted in the drug world. They would get busted and they would rat. So, prison's full of snitches. Yeah. I'm sorry if you're in prison, but you guys know it. It's just what it is. Yeah. You know? And so, people are going to save themselves.
Of course.
You know? And, for sure. And you're like the bystander and got whacked.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, and they offered that deal to me as well. And I said
to rat out the next guy.
Yeah, to do the same thing. And I said,
because they're trying to get the small fish to the big fish.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I told my attorney, I said, tell the DA that I would much rather do the time in prison than snitch on somebody and have to look over my shoulder every 2 seconds when I'm out. And then back in my hometown, we're the only Mintzes. So if somebody found out, they know who my family is. You know what I mean? So it's like there was much more for me to lose. So I'm like, if I have to take this lick, then I'll do it. But I ended up only getting probation. I got 5 years of probation.
Imagine that though, like, yeah, you don't want to get in trouble or nothing, but imagine like you did like snitch on the guy, and you literally could have got killed. Yeah. But instead you just said, I'm gonna take my lickings, and it was just like it kind of went away type thing, Yeah. After a few years.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing too. It was like thinking long term, because I'll never in my life condone snitching, right? I think that if you get involved in something, that you deal with whatever consequences come to you. And that was my thought process, was I knew what I was getting into. This is a consequence.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
If you're part of it, you're part of it. It's what it is. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I grew up like that. Yeah. I was the kid that always got arrested, bro.
Okay.
Because people always snitched on me. I'm not even lying.
It's wild. It really is.
Yeah, we go do this thing or whatever it was, and then next thing you know, I'm getting arrested and no one else is. I'm like, what the you know what I mean? I got charged, and that's just what it is. You know, it's what it is. It's but like you said, that's why you gotta, like, that fine line you're treading in and out. It's like, just stay on this side of the line, guys. Stay on this side of the tracks, because getting in trouble, getting a charge, all that stuff, that doesn't do anything for anybody.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It really isn't.
Did you end up getting charged with? What'd you get charged with?
So the two charges were trafficking a controlled substance and conspiracy to commit trafficking of a controlled substance. So the conspiracy was the phone call, because we conspired to make the transaction. And then in New Mexico, and I didn't know this until I got my grand jury indictment, even if you don't touch anything, or even if you're just involved in the transaction, they consider you to be part of, the one who trafficked it. So those are the two charges that I got. I pled guilty to the actual trafficking charge, and then they dropped the conspiracy charge. And then again, I said we got 5 years probation.
So like time served, 5 years probation type thing?
Yeah. I guess I don't even say time served. It was just a month and a half in county. Yeah. But, when I got out, I got back to work. I got back in school. Yeah. So it was like to show the judge that I'm on the right path. And then at 18, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure they were like, we got bigger shit to worry about than some 18-year-old kid who, made a phone call to get some cocaine. So So I got 5 years probation. I did that, completed it. And then it's still on my record.
So you got a felony.
Yeah.
What, like class, like, I don't even know what it is.
Second degree. So they classify first degree is like the highest, and then it goes from first to fourth. So fourth degree is the lowest.
Okay. Yeah. Cause every state's kind of different.
Yeah. The way they classify them. Yeah. So, but it's been so long that in most cases it doesn't show up, like apartments, jobs. It doesn't show up anymore.
Because they check like 10 years. Usually.
Yeah. And it's been well over 2 decades now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I got a felony when I was 18 or right when I turned 19.
Okay.
It happened when I was 18, but that keeps coming up. But I did end up getting my rights back.
Okay.
I don't know if you've done that or even if you can do that in New Mexico, but over here I got my rights, my civil rights, gun rights, and the set side. So they can't use it as prejudice against me.
Okay.
But it still comes up. Like we're a contractor, and so we've done a lot of jobs throughout the years, and there's several jobs that we've done that I've not been allowed on because it pops up. So we did DEA, some work for the DEA.
Okay.
And I couldn't go in the building because it popped up.
Wow.
Yeah, because they go lifetime.
Got you.
They check your whole life. They go when it was so we for about 6 years we worked at the airport, a lot of contracts at the airport, and I could go everywhere in the airport except international.
Okay.
I couldn't go on the international side because it popped there. And then the main City of Phoenix Police Department on 7th Avenue, like Washington Jefferson, that main one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, that old main one. I couldn't go in there either.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in a lot of places. Like I was able to get in a lot of places.
Crazy.
And I'm like, and I had to go and like try to argue with people.
Of course, yeah.
I'm the owner. That like I don't care. You know what I mean? So like every so many years, like it gets brought back up because I'm trying to get in on a job or bid something or whatever, and like negative. So then
that's wild.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It's starting out when we were younger too. Like I did the DEA one was years ago, and we were much smaller, and I remember when I couldn't go in there, and I just had to pull up to all of them. I had the same thing. I had to pull up, but that's the kind of stuff like that's why we don't want to like all this craziness and getting in trouble and all that stuff. Like it sticks with you. I tell everybody. I tell my kids, other kids, like the mistakes you make, man, it'll cost you 10 years quick. Whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
It may not be 10 years in prison, but it's going to be 10 years somewhere. It's going to show up.
Yeah.
Whether it's, financial ruin or like a criminal charge or whatever it is, these things take like 10 years to get past. You know what I mean? And so it's not worth it.
Not at all. And I tell my kids know, and I got it in Arizona. They classify the DUI as different. So I got an extreme DUI. Had to do time in Tent City before they had shut it down. Yeah, this was in 2012.
Okay.
Thankfully I was on work release, so I basically just slept there. But so I my kids know about everything I've been through because they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? They're gonna go on in life and they're gonna make their own decisions. But I let them know so this way they can understand. Okay, this is what Dad went through. This is what Dad told us. Let me think about
consequences.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's 100% transparency with my kids because I don't want them to go down the same road that I went. Yeah,
dude. I met someone. I don't want to say his name, but I can't even remember. I talked to so many dumb people. But this is recent, maybe like 2 months ago or something. And the guy was telling me how he had a shaky past, and his kids didn't know. And I'm like, and they were like teenagers already. And I'm like, dude, your kids don't know who you are.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad.
Yeah, like
you don't have to hide it. Like, what do you like? They're not going to judge you. It's better that they know who you are.
Exactly.
Because they know, like, dang, he screwed up. But one is they can be proud of you.
Yep. Changed his life.
Yeah, you changed. And two, it's like, okay, this is what I can look for.
Yeah.
Like what I remember what my son, I didn't even introduce you to kids. I'll introduce you to them when we go back down. 3 of my kids are here working.
Okay, nice.
And, I would be like, that's a prostitute. That's a crackhead. I would show them different things and just so they can recognize, like,
of course.
It's like you can't just hide stuff from your kids. Like you don't want to expose them to it.
Yeah.
But you also got to let them know what it is.
Yeah, they got to be aware.
Yeah, because like my kids are sheltered. They're older now, a little bit older, but they're still sheltered. And it's like, I don't know if your kids are sheltered. Probably everybody's. Yeah. I think now these days a lot of our kids are sheltered because we don't want them to get in trouble or get hurt or something, and so they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of explain it a little bit. But so you get this felony, you get in trouble, you go, be back and forth. And at what point did you come back for the culinary school? Was that right after the felony when you were changing your life again?
Yeah. So the felony, everything was said and done in 2005. I got sentenced to 5 years probation. So from 2005 to 2010, I was on probation. And then in 2011 was when I came out here to go to culinary school. So I come get a job. I'm in culinary school. And then that's when I get my DUI, a block away from the house. I had made that drive and not that I'm bragging about it, but I had made that drive multiple times, right? Yeah. And then, one night we go out, dude leaves us at the bar. And we drove to his house, and I was like, man, I've made this drive plenty of times. This will be the last time. So we go, I'm driving. It's right on where Hayden turned into McClintock, and I think they came off the 202. And I was a block away from my house, and I see the cherries, and my homeboy's like, just tell it, if the cop smells alcohol, tell him it was me. I'm like, it's not gonna work, like it's never gonna work.
You're driving and looking at your eyes, everything. Yeah.
And so he pulls me over, and he says I was swerving in my own lane. And so we're talking whatever, and I'm like, look, in all honesty, like I just moved out here, I don't have nobody, I don't got no money for bail to get my car towed. If all this, I said, can you at the very least, let my little brother come pick up my car? So it was myself, my little brother, and then a friend of ours. Well, no, he's not a friend no more, but an old friend of ours. So the cop was like, let's just get this first part squared away, and then we'll talk about all that. So go do the breathalyzer. Because I already knew. I was like, it don't matter. I'm not going to refuse it because he can see it. I know it. You know what I mean? So he gives me the breathalyzer. He's like, all right, because you cooperated, I'm going to give you a citation, but you need to get this taken care of. And I'm going to let your little brother come pick up your car, and he can drive you home. So that happened. And then I ended up going to court. I got the 30 days work release in Tent City. I got the interlock for a year, all the fines. And then I think I was on probation for like 6 months or something.
For one DUI?
For one DUI. But I blew twice the legal limit.
Yeah. But usually like people get like a weekend or something, the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
So I was like, as long as I don't got to be in there and wear the stripes.
Yeah, usually it's like the second or third. Like usually like the second one is when they get a little bit, but they just wanted to make an example of you.
I'm sure, yeah.
Did it work? A little bit for a little bit?
Yeah, yes and no. I ended up moving back to New Mexico, so I took all the interlocking stuff out. I hadn't even finished none of my
so you had a warrant?
So yep. So I'm in New Mexico working, doing my thing, and I get a letter in the mail at a PO
Charlie
box
Gangster
that I had.
Over here.
I had a PO box, and I got a letter from the city of, I think it was in Chandler because the case was in Chandler. That I got a warrant out, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just blow it off. They're not gonna come catch me. They're not gonna come over here to get me. So I blow it off, and then I get another letter, and then a few months later I get another letter. At this point, my conscience is like eating at me.
Yeah.
And so
now you're watching your back. And stuff.
And so I'm like, fuck. At this point, I'm able to get it taken care of. So I Google, DUI attorneys in Phoenix, and so I get a hold of one, and she's like, usually for a case like this, I charge, I think it was like $600 or $700. I said, I got $500 cash I can give you right now if you help me get this taken care of. So she was like, all right, tell me what's going on. Tell me what happened, X, Y, Z. So I give her all the information. I pay her online. She calls me back. She's like, all right, the judge said that they'll quash the warrant if you can call right now and make a payment of at least half of your fines. And I still owed like $3,000 at this point. So thankfully, I just got my income tax. So I'm like, this is what we're going to use the money for. Paid her, did the half of the fines, got the warrant quashed, had to get the interlock again. So I had to go back and reinstall the interlock for another year. And then this time I paid off my fines early, had the interlock for a year, got all that done, and then it was done with. But then transferring my license from Arizona to New Mexico was a nightmare because of the DUI, because I had to show proof that I completed all my classes, all that stuff, that I had the interlock and all that. So finally got it all squared away, and then it was done with.
Dude, nothing goes away like that stuff. It's even I tell my son, gets tickets every once in a while. I'm like, dude, like pay him or go to the class. It's not gonna go away. You just ignore it. It's not gonna, because he's ignored him a couple times. Yeah. And the next thing you know, he don't have his license.
Exactly.
They send you a letter like, you don't have a license no more or whatever. You know what I mean? Or they'll like do something with your title or whatever they gotta do.
Register your car or whatever. Yeah.
Till you pay the fee. Yep. And I'm like, dude, this stuff don't go away.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
It'll like, everybody thinks something goes away, and it's like, I tell it, like, excuse me, child support, tickets, credit cards, not paying those, like all that stuff doesn't go away.
Yeah, you have to just take care of it. There's
And
no
the
way
longer you
around
wait,
it.
actually the worse it gets, because you end up getting interest rates. Like
Yep.
you owed 5,000, now you owe 10,000.
Yeah, they'll just tack on stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All the fees and stuff. It's like, just freaking get it done with
Exactly.
guys. Try to avoid all that stuff. But like, if it does happen, just like do your part. You know, what they say, you do the crime, do the time, or whatever. You know,
Simple as that.
it's simple as that, bro. So you didn't finish culinary school?
I did not. No. I got the DUI, and then I took a few weeks off there. School was nice to let me take a few weeks off to get that resolved, and I ended up going back and just starting at the block that I had left at. But then I got a job offer in El Paso again. Same guy, different restaurant. So they sent me to Austin to go for some job training, and then I went to El Paso. So I never finished culinary school. After that, I think I got like just about halfway through.
Are you a good cook?
I'm decent. I'm not like Emerald Lagasse or anything, but but I mean, I can, I can
Hey, a lot of
get
people
down
don't know
in
who
the
Emerald
kitchen.
Lagasse is. He's old school.
He is old school.
He's been gone for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like,
So I mean, depending on what it is, I'm not, like super fancy, but if you put some stuff in front of me, I can make something happen.
You got good flavor profiles and stuff. Yeah, that's cool, man. So you go back and forth, and then at what point do you come here and then decide to stay here, and why'd you come back?
So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Arizona, because my first visit when my aunt lived in Sierra Vista, I just loved it. It was, I think it was, other than going to Texas, where my
were they
where my
military?
grandma's
Why
from,
were they in Sierra Vista?
He was in the Border Patrol.
Oh yeah,
he worked
okay.
out there in Douglas.
All right, makes sense.
So other than Texas, Arizona was like the only place I had traveled to, and so I just fell in love with it. And then my mom and my sister stayed out here in Tempe for a few years. So when I come and visit them, we'd come for concerts and stuff, and it's just, sun was always shining, the palm trees and all that stuff. And I'm like, damn, this is dope. This is a place I can see myself living.
Especially compared to New Mexico.
Yeah. And so when I left the last time, I was like, I got to get back at some point. But, at this point, I'm still like drinking and bullshitting and, not taking things in life serious.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until 2019, 2020, when I was like really starting to say, okay, I got to do something else. So what I'm doing is not working.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I told my wife, I said, by 2025 will be the plan to get back to Phoenix. Like, I'm really big on writing down your goals, what you're going to do to achieve them, and having a timeline, right? Otherwise it's not a goal.
Yeah.
And so 2025 was the timeline. And so in 2020, I had gotten sober. It was like a real complete life transformation.
So you got sober from, what were you doing?
From alcohol.
Okay.
So the drugs and all that I had quit, years prior, but alcohol was the hardest one for me to kick. So in 2020, I had gotten sober. And that was when I really went through this whole transformation. I got back in the gym, started reading, listening to podcasts, and kind of just taking life serious. And so I was working at a restaurant, and I said, when I got hired, I told the manager, I said, in 3 years, I want to move up. I started off as a prep cook. I said, I want to start at the bottom, move my way up. And then in 3 years, I want to get transferred to a different location. And so we made that happen in 8 months. And my wife wanted to go to San Antonio. I wanted to come out here, and they wanted to send me to Utah. And I was like, I told the manager, I said, bro, look at me. I am not going to Utah. I said, come on now. And then my wife, covered in tattoos, sleeved up, she has red hair. I'm like, come on now. Yeah. A bunch of little mixed breed babies running around. I'm like, we're not going to Utah, bro. So he was like, all right, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and then we'll make a decision. So he came back, and he was like, what's your decision? I said, send me to Phoenix. So he was like, all right, we'll send you to Phoenix. So he said, can you be there in 6 weeks? I said, you cut me a check, I'll be there in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So they cut me a check. We got out here, and it's been about 3 years now. And so
what restaurant is that?
It was with the Darden Restaurant Group. They own Darden. They own like Olive Garden, Yard House. They have a big old umbrella under there, Longhorn, all those places.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So and so we've been here 3 years now. And I've just always had a soft spot. Like I said, it's just a beautiful city. Phoenix is.
We're growing, dude. We've grown a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I read something this morning. We're number one fastest growing city again. At one. Actually, no, I think we're at number 5 at one time, but now I think we're number 1.
I believe it. Yeah.
I just seen it today.
Okay.
I don't know how accurate it. Who put it out? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I said number 1.
For sure.
So you come out here, and you're cooking again. And which restaurant were you working at?
I was at Longhorn.
Dude, I
Longhorn
like Longhorn
Steakhouse.
I mean, it's not as good as Mastro's or something, but Longhorn's cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get into music?
So,
because I know you have like you do some music stuff.
Yeah. So, growing up, well, she still is a writer, but my mom was a writer growing up, a published author, and then my father was in radio when I was growing up. So he worked out in New Mexico and El Paso and in Oklahoma at radio stations. So he would always send us his recordings of his shows, and he would shout us out on the air and stuff like that. And, you know, I've always had a love for music. My grandparents always had the record players going and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But being around my mom and her writing, I always used to write songs when I was younger. Never take it serious, you know what I mean? But it was always something that I did. Even in school, like I always did well in English and language arts classes, creative writing classes, all that stuff. So it's always been a love that I've had. I wrote a short story once. It was about a guy who had to talk himself out of killing himself. And it was really about myself. Like I wasn't really going to kill myself, but it was a point in time where like I had some thoughts and stuff
you're
like
hating
that.
life a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, I always dabbled in music on and off. My sister lives in Nashville and she's an artist. She plays the piano. She plays the guitar. She writes, she sings.
That's cool.
My youngest brother's a hip hop artist out in New York. So it's something that we've always been around. And then when I came out here for culinary school, there was a school called Crass. It's audio engineering school. So they teach you how to run the boards, how to do stuff for like broadcasts and stuff like that, like all the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so it just sparked that creativity in me again. So I never did anything with it back then. But then we moved out here. I was driving by and I saw the school and I was like, I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna hit them up and see, you know, what they have to offer. So I you know, applied to get in. I got in. And then at that point, I was like, once I finish school, I'm never going back to restaurants again. And so I had to do an internship, which is how I ended up doing in the sports broadcast. And so music is just, it made its way back into my life through that.
Yeah. That's cool. So like, it was like a school you went to?
Yeah.
So what was that, like 8 months or a year?
9 months, yeah.
Did you say that? Am I not listening?
No, I didn't. I said it was a school, but I didn't say how long ago. So you hit the nail on the head.
Did I miss that? Yeah.
No, you're good.
That's cool, dude. So you learn how to do all that stuff. You could probably show me how to do my stuff.
I'm not a video guy, but like the audio stuff, I can help you out with.
You can go to our church and help me. I got a nice. Well, it's okay. It's a what did we have? Midas. That's a Midas board.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like an Allen and Heath or. Do you know all the boards?
Yeah.
There's some good ones out there.
For sure. Midas is still a good one though.
Midas is decent. Yeah, it's 32 channel Midas. So what kind of stuff are you doing right now? Like, are you doing any kind of songs or rap?
Yeah.
What style is it? What do you like?
Well, so I mostly perform.
Dude, I profiled you, bro. I said, hold on. What nationality are you?
I'm half black and half white.
Okay, yeah, that's why I profiled you. I was like, this dude's a rapper.
And then all the tattoos.
I'm just kidding.
So I mostly do rap. That's like my go-to.
Actually, you look like a new country star.
Well, here's the thing, is that 2 years ago I wrote 2 country songs.
Nice.
And I can't sing, but I sang them, and I sang my fucking heart out. Excuse my French, but I sang my heart out.
Was it good?
I thought lyrically they were good. They were like, one of them was like pop country, like Sam Hunt or Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan, yeah. I don't listen to country, but I know that name.
Yeah. And so I think, you know, they tell a story, which I think is good as music should.
Yeah.
And mostly, you know, hip hop is like really my thing, but I got some R&B songs written too. Again, I can't sing, so my end goal is to like write the stuff, sing it, and then have somebody else, you know, take it on and do it. So
like buy your stuff, like kind of sell it.
Or yeah. So I would, you know, we'd work on the contracts, and they call them splits in the music industry.
Okay.
But a friend of mine, excuse me, RNL, that's his artist name. We're working on an EP right now. So we got, I think, 5 or 6 tracks. 4 of them are tracks with both of us together, and then we each have one individual track.
What's an EP?
It's just like an extended play, like a shorter.
What's an LP?
I think it's there's a difference. I don't know the exact difference. I know they're classified as, you know, if it's under this amount of time.
Oh, the songs and stuff like that, like 5 songs or 10 songs.
That's how they classify them.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So we're hoping to have that one drop by September.
Oh, like, dude, it's like going to be September in a couple days.
So by like the end of September is when we're hoping to have it done. Yeah, so
cool.
it's all recorded. Now we're just in like the final stages of getting it cleaned up and, you know, making it sound good.
Yeah.
So.
And so your part is like you're writing it, doing some beats, or?
So I wrote in full one of the songs. So I rap on it, but he sings. I wrote the whole song, but I can't sing, so I had him sing it.
Oh, you can rap, but you can't sing.
Correct.
Because I'm trying to put all this together. Yeah.
Yes. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I can write, I can rap, but I cannot sing. So if I can't sing, I'll sing the song how I want it sung, and then bring in somebody else.
Just so they know like the hook or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like the melodies and all that stuff. Yeah. So we each have one individual track. One track I wrote in full, and then the other 3 tracks we wrote together. That's
cool, dude. Did you hear my little rap I had some guy made?
No.
It's pretty cool. Should we play it? What are you doing? Are you gonna play it?
Let's play it.
Up.
Let's do it.
You have the whole version? Oh, that's not the whole version. Let me see. What up, bro? I got it saved. I don't know where it's at. Oh, I'm on Instagram. I didn't even know. This is what's fun about having a podcast. We can do that how we want. Where's this save that? Dude, where did he put it? Oh, jeez. I literally had it. Okay, let's just go to Instagram. See if the whole thing's there. I think this may be it. Listen. So he made it about my life.
This is nice. I like this. I like that.
That's cool, huh?
I like that. I'm gonna have to check him out.
He's a local dude. He's pretty good. He's an MMA fighter too. He likes to train in MMA and stuff. He's a cool guy.
I like that though.
Yeah,
everything was on point.
Yeah, so I told him like my life kind of, and then he threw it all in. So like it starts like so I like this. I talk about sowing seeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like planting, like helping people, you know. And he said farmer like sowing. He said it backwards, but on purpose.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I like
cool.
that.
So I played it for everybody when it came out like a month ago or something.
Okay.
I was playing it for everyone like it was the biggest thing ever.
It is. You got to see it like that.
To me, it is. I don't even care if anybody listens to it. I thought it was cool.
It is cool. No, I liked it. Everything was on point. The beat, the flow.
It reminded me. So back in the day, I don't think you weren't living here when this dude. Did you ever hear of MC Magic?
I know who he is. Yeah.
So back in the day, he's like a local legend rapper here, right? That never was. He kind of was, but he was cool. But back in the day, he used to go to a swap meet, or he would go to different areas, and you would tell him like your name and whatever hood you were from, gang, or whatever you want. Most of the time, it was like you told him the gang, and then he would bust a rap, pop, 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 and then you left with your tape.
No shit.
Yeah, and so that's why I did that, because like I wanted to make a cool modern version.
For sure.
Because it reminded me when I was younger, because I had a tape made. Everybody had a tape made.
Okay.
And then, so yeah, you just told him a couple things. He'd be like, "Yeah, Chris, with those shoes, pop, 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 pop." You know.
Hell yes, I love that.
I think we would pay him like $15 or something, and then you get that for this little tape, and
that's super cool though.
Yeah, so that was a fun little thing. Yeah, dude, it's cool. You're doing the music and stuff, because it keeps you young, it keeps you vibrant. You know, it's something to do.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being able to. I'm working on a song now too, where I'm writing a letter to my younger self about life and the things I would go through. And so what started off as that, and it really just turned into a letter to myself about the relationship with my father.
Oh,
which is yeah. And he wasn't around very often.
No, I know, because you said Texas and in Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
New Mexico and Tennessee.
In Oklahoma, yeah.
I was like, okay, so he's
been all over the place, and so it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? And there's, you know, I don't badmouth him. He had his own demons he's dealing with. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I got older that I realized that. You know what I mean? And went to counseling and all that, and did some stuff after he passed away. I wrote a letter to him, and then mailed it off to wherever they took it to. But that was me finally letting go of, the closure, exactly.
Yeah,
so
sorry about that. How long has he been passed away now?
I was 15, so what, 25 years?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my mom died when I was 20. She gave me up when I was 7, right before I turned 8. And then I met my biological dad when I was 25.
Okay.
That's what it's part of in there. It's in there.
Okay.
In the song.
Yeah.
That's why it says that 25, but that's the shorter version. But yeah, the same thing is like when I was a kid, I hated him.
Yeah.
I hated him. I knew his first name. My dad he's Russian Romanian. He's a white dude. Like it looks like white, but he's literally Russian. He's been dead 6 years now, but Russian Romanian Jew. And so I knew I had, like, even my aunts and everybody, I had a relationship with my mom, even though she, like, she was a drug addict.
Okay.
And then so everybody, like, you have a white daddy. I knew his first name. I didn't know where he lived. I didn't know, Then he found me at 25. And what was crazy is, like, or 26. That's when, and then I met him, and, like, my whole life. So I had given myself to God. And then, like, so say it was May, I was watching TV and I was like, okay, I already quit doing drugs.
Yeah.
I was 25. And so like quit doing drugs, just quit drinking. That was the last thing I had to quit. And then so I'm watching TV. I give myself to God, watching Joel Osteen. Like within 5 months, he finds me and he's at my house.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just like this whirlwind of,
I'm sure.
It was like, but by that time, in the when I was watching the TV, the preacher, I had forgave him, because it was the preacher's like, hey, if you got to forgive anybody. So I forgave my mom because I was really pissed at her.
Yeah. Even
Even though I had a relationship to her, till she died, we used to party together, all kinds of stuff, stupid stuff. But I was like, all right, Mom, I'm pissed at you because, you just kind of didn't care. You cared, but you didn't care. You know what I mean? And then, all right. His name was Sheldon. And I'm like, all right, Shelly, like, you didn't take care of me, but I forgive you guys. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to be a better person.
Yeah.
Pop. So then I find him, or he finds me. So by the time he found me, dude, like, I was like clean of any hate.
Yeah.
Like, there was none. If he would have found me like 3 years before when I was still on some dope.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Different encounter.
Yeah.
A completely different encounter.
You know what I mean? 5 years before, I was like, oh my God, he would have ran.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it was, but I understand what you're saying. Like, there's that anger, that hate, like, because the person's not there. You want them to be there, but I'm glad you said, like, you forgave them, because dude, I talked to so many people and, like, they still can't forgive their parents. And I'm like, I was able to do it. And what's crazy is so I remember the first time I went to his house, he lived in Huntington Beach, and I met my siblings, his kids, my siblings. And like, I had this love for this man that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Just really meeting him. We were like the same person, like, go-getter, hard worker, entrepreneur. Like, we're the same thing, except he looked white and I like brown. My mom's Mexican. And I got my mom's last name.
Okay.
That's my last name. Yeah. But I mean, my siblings, and like, they had remorse towards him, and he, like, put them all in college and was raising them and just different things. And I'm like, I'm looking at this picture. I'm like, this shit's backwards. Yep. I should be the one pissed. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to build this relationship. And we were cool till he died, bro. He got cancer, but it's, so I'm glad you said that, man. That's cool. That's cool.
For sure. Yeah. I got a twin sister, and she was the last one to talk to him. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him because he had gotten fired from his job, got drunk, called up my sister, talked to her, and then he went into a coma. And then, like, a week or so, a couple weeks later, there's his mom, my grandma on that side, ended up pulling the plug. So I didn't even get a chance to talk to him before any of that. So I just had to kind of move on, you know what I mean? I figured and do it on my own.
That's still hard to do, dude. Because like, when you hate somebody, it's hard to get rid of hate, man.
No, it really is.
It's hard to get rid of hate. Like, I mean, I'm hating Jose right there. No, I'm just kidding. So like when how did he die?
I imagine it had to do something with like his liver.
Okay,
because he was an alcoholic.
Yeah,
so I think I think the drinking,
that bad life.
Yeah.
This is my mom had an aneurysm when I was 20, but she was a straight drug addict, bro. Like I remember her doing drugs as like when I was 4 and stuff.
Damn.
You know, so that bad life catches you.
Yeah,
it catches you.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad you forgave him, dude, because like that can eat you up.
Yeah,
that can eat so many people up.
Yeah,
you know. So these days, you got the clothing line.
Yes.
You got more than clothing.
Yes.
Like you got all kind. What do you got going on with your line, with your company? What do you?
So in regard to like product.
Yeah.
So we have the 2 T's.
Hold on. Let's go back. When the name of the company is IAC.
Correct. Lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle brand. And then what are the products you got?
So we have the t-shirts. We have the snapbacks. This one is not dropped yet, but we have the DNA Strand logo snapbacks. Which side is it on? We got the lapel pins here. Yeah. We got the silicone wristbands. We got stickers. I'm trying to think of what else. We got leggings and joggers for women. And then we're in the process of, we just got numbers for socks, hoodies, and then hoodie and jogger suits as a whole. So we're going to try and decide financially which one makes the most sense to drop next.
Okay.
So we'll probably do one more drop for this year and then move on into 2026.
That's cool. And then the shirt, we had talked about this. I'm not alone. What does that mean?
So for me, I try to be intentional with all the products that we do. I mean, obviously, wristbands are wristbands, lapel pins are lapel pins, right? But with the hats, the DNA Strand has a meaning behind it, right? The logo does. Same thing with confidence, and then the one that says intelligence. There's always something behind it. So with this one, I wanted to make something that was a part of my story, but I felt that others could relate to, right? So I'm not alone. On the back of it, it says we all battle demons no one else can see. So for me, it was saying that I'm not alone in this walk of life because there's demons that I'm battling no matter what they may be. So for me, it's just simply saying I'm not alone because I've got these demons that I'm fighting as I go through life and navigate, specific certain things.
Yeah. There's a scripture in the Bible that you're not alone either. You know what it says? You wouldn't know.
Well, I'm sure I've heard it before, but if refresh
so there's
my memory,
a lot of them.
Yeah.
But there's one scripture that says, "If he be for me, who be against me?"
Okay.
So if God is with me, like there's stories where there's angels walking, behind people and stuff like that. And so I want you to think about like in the future, your next drop.
For sure.
So something the opposite, because we do have demons, bro. Yeah. Like I believe we're all born bad. We're all born sinners.
Yes.
We would be like animals if someone wasn't teaching us. Yeah. Like if someone didn't teach us how to walk, they're standing us up as a baby.
100%.
They're showing us how to use the restroom. They're showing us how to eat. Yep. We'd be animals, not like we would. Yeah. Neanderthals. Yep. Like we'd be freaking like apes. Like we wouldn't know what to do. We'd be crawling and stuff. Yeah. And so I think so there is stuff we battle, like especially, when you had addictions prior and things like that stuff comes up. So I battle a lot of things to this day. I battle a lot of things mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm sure you do too. That's why that came out on your shirt. So it's like we're not alone.
Yeah.
And you do have these demons you're wrestling with, but like what I want my audience to know is you also have God that got your back. Because that's when you're down in the ditches, bro. Like someone comes and pulls you up. God used that person.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
And but I love like the theory behind all of it, bro. Because like when you were telling me and the DNA Strand, tell me about the DNA Strand, like the logo, like explain that.
For sure. So initially the graphic designer, when he drew it up, it was the DNA Strand and it has IAC right next to it. And I just separated them so we could utilize, more than one logo.
Yeah.
But initially he likened it to the spine because the spine is like the central axis of your body, right? Without your spine, you essentially can't function, do anything. So his thought was, even though it runs the opposite direction, was when people wear the clothing, he doesn't want it to feel like it's just another piece of clothing. Like he wants to be a part of their body.
Okay.
Like when they're wearing it, you know, it's in them. So I took it a step further because I thought it resembled more of a DNA strand, depending on how you look at it and who you're asking. With the notion that intelligence and confidence is ingrained in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
For me, you know, growing up, I always felt like I had a certain level of intelligence, a certain level of confidence. Like I've always been an outgoing person, personable, all those things. But certain decisions, you know, there was, you know, times where I didn't display my full confidence, whatever the case may have been. So it took moving past the self-doubts and all that BS, finally getting sober to realize my full potential, and being able to display those things and do it, you know, without a second thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah, it looks like a modern DNA.
Yeah.
Because DNA is kind of like this, right? Or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But the meaning behind it is super cool because a lot of people create these brands and stuff and there's no meaning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like creating something
For
to
sure.
sell or
Yeah.
whatever. And when there's meaning and purpose, it's like, okay, let's get behind this.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And then so you're getting ready to drop all these things. You drop the CD. You're busy.
Yes.
And then you're still working.
Yep. Still working.
That's going to go away here soon. We're going to help you get some money. And
that's the goal. That's the plan.
Yeah. Be all in. Figure that out. You know,
For sure.
subsidize all that income and roll, dude.
Definitely.
So what's next besides, you know, what's going on? Like any big news, anything? How's your fitness, bro? Your arms are looking swole.
You know, I'm just really getting back into it like how I want to. I've been working 2 jobs for like the past year, you know, which really made it hard to be able to get into the gym and focus. I know people are going to say, oh, well, you have this many hours in a week. And but I also had 2 jobs, a wife, a kids, an apparel brand. When do I find time to do the things that I want to do for myself, right? So quit one job. So now I'm finally locked in. I just actually did my program for the next 12 weeks. Went and bought a bunch of food, you know, did some meal prep. So I'm getting back into it. So I think that's the biggest thing that I'm focusing on now is the apparel brands in a decent spot for now, right? We have everything that we need dropped. You know, we're working on that. The job is going good. And so now it's like I can focus on me, you know what I mean, to make sure that I'm good.
Yeah.
Because one, I'm the face of the brand, right? So I have to make sure that I'm good mentally, physically, all that stuff, in an effort to move the brand forward and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do for it. So the fitness is going good. Thankfully, you know, I know what I'm doing, so I can do programming and stuff myself and really focus in there. But as far as like in regard to like anything else, just the CD getting ready to drop at the end of September. We're working on the new drops for 2026 as far as like designs and stuff. We don't know what we're going to drop yet, but you know, we've got some things in motion, like behind the scenes as far as what direction we're going to go in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I think as like we're wrapping it up though, is like make a plan, and you probably already have, but set a goal to quit your job, like a date.
for sure.
So in the Bible, it says anything that comes out of your mouth is a prayer, good or bad.
Okay.
So it goes out to existence. You know, everything we say, you're like your ears ringing because someone's saying something, or whatever. So everything we say is going out. So like, set an action plan. All right, and then you do this with your wife, right? Like, okay, we need this much money a month, whatever it is, like $4,000 or
For sure.
whatever. And all right, babe, like this is the plan. By May 2026, I'm quitting my job. Whatever.
Yeah.
And do it, bro. That means you got to work your ass off, harder than ever. It's what it is.
Yeah.
To make that happen, because you got to subsidize that income, supplement that income. You know what I mean? You got to get right up to that same income.
Yep.
And then just dump the job and be like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if you're all in.
Game changer.
It's a game changer, bro. It's a game changer when you're all in, because now all your focus is on your business. You know what I mean? Right. So that's my advice. Take it for what it's worth, but I would put a a date stamp
For
and
sure.
put it out there, because now it's living.
Yeah.
That word
Yep.
is living, the living word. That, like you said, like, hey, this is the date, this is what we're gonna do, and this is what. So then, if we're at, if your sales are at X amount of dollars right now, okay, well, what do I gotta do?
Yeah.
I gotta bring up my sales, $500 a month for these next 5 months or whatever. I'm just throwing out numbers.
Yeah.
You know, and that, like, that game plan. I don't know if you've thought about that kind of stuff.
I have not.
But that's what you need to do, because if you don't, then you're gonna keep doing what you're doing for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's kind of like one of those burn the bridge things.
For sure.
You know, obviously you don't want to burn the bridge if there's like nothing on the other side.
Yeah.
You're in an island that's just all sand and there's nothing else there. But like, think about that, you know what I mean? And talk about that with your wife and all that stuff. And like, hey, cause I've done it. Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. And then, you know, but there's when you kind of like set that standard, that tone in your life, and you get there, it's like anything is possible.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You know what I mean?
I
So
appreciate that.
I'm challenging you on that.
I appreciate that for sure.
So as we wrap up, bro, what's a good word you can give to the audience, these young dudes or young ladies or whoever, you know, that are even older, they're trying to go where they want to go with their dreams, maybe their fitness or whatever it is. Like, what's that one nugget you could give them?
That's a good one. I would say you got to put yourself first, as selfish as it sounds. But if I wasn't my best, or if I wasn't locked in on whatever it was, spirituality, you know, my physical, my mental, then I can't take care of my family, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a good husband or a good father or a good business owner. So make sure that you prioritize yourself. Make sure that your mental is good, your spiritual, whatever that may be, your physical. So this way you can do all the other things you need to do and not have to worry about yourself at the end of the day. And just don't quit. Just literally, this is the first year we've been consistent, and the people that we have met, the rooms that we've been in, the connections we've made, I would have never dreamed of, in 100% honesty. So just don't quit. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. You're going to want to quit. There's sometimes where I'm just like, fuck, man, is this even worth it? Like, do I keep going? But we wouldn't be where we are now if we didn't just keep going.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like it, man. Like, yeah, don't quit, guys. It's gonna get hard, but like, we all have the answer.
Yeah.
Right. You kind of already know your answer.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, okay, am I willing to take the step? Where's that confidence at? I'm calling you out, bro. I'm calling you out.
I love it though. This is what I need.
You know,
Yeah,
it's you know,
you have to have people around you who are going to push you.
You have to. It's what makes us better.
Yeah.
You know, it's what makes us better. So, guys, go follow this dude. Go buy his stuff. Where can we follow you at?
At IAC_lifestyle with a Y. So LYFESTYLE. Also on Facebook. And then the website is IACactivelife.com.
Now you have the other Charlie one too, right?
Yes. The real Charlie _hustle is my personal one there as well.
Go follow him. Go buy his stuff. Support him, guys.
I appreciate
we got to support the local people. That's what this is about. It's about showing others that if he can do it and I can do it, so can you.
Definitely.
So don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our stuff. Be blessed, guys. Woo!